winning your ex back with no contact. In today's video, we're going to talk about the psychology of no contact. As a relationship therapist, I know the value of no contact. I know the impact it will have on your well-being, and I also know the impact it will have on your ex, especially on the perception they have of the relationship. And in today's video, we're going to discuss how people make decisions, how people made the decision to break up, and how your ex potentially will make the decision to return in this relationship. I'll explain everything after the jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
And I will use the idea of the voices that we have in our head. The idea that whenever we make a decision or whenever we are about to take action, there's always an internal debate. Making a decision, making a choice is sort of disregarding one option. If you go place A, you don't go in place B. So we always have sort of decision trees, and we make decisions thousands of times per week. Obviously, deciding to end a relationship is a huge decision, and it's a huge decision. It took them a while for your ex to debate internally whether that was the best decision for them. And so in your ex's mind, they think, we've tried everything. It's not working. And they make the assumption that I will be better alone or with someone else. And at this stage, the reason people break up is because the pain that is created as part of the relationship is stronger than the pleasure they get. So very often people, most of my clients, their ex still in love with them, still have a lot of feelings for them, but the pain, the pressure for various reasons is stronger than the pleasure that they get from the relationship. And understand that people act out of pain more than pleasure. The idea of pain is twice as strong than sort of the pleasure. And we'll discuss about this in a minute, but usually the amount of energy created by pain is twice as the amount created when it's about to seek pleasure. So people would be more inclined to protect, to save something rather than to earn something. And in the context of breakup, it's not that they are losing something, but it's just a fear. And the fear and the pain are stronger drivers than pleasure. So let's explore step by step what your ex is going through. Right after the breakup, they simply want to enjoy. For the simple reason that for weeks and months, they had this internal debate. Should I stay? Should I leave? Is it the right thing? Am I sort of wasting all the effort and all the time that we had together? Will I be happier if I break up with that person? And there's always this sort of hesitation. And usually when people break up, they are never like 100% sure whether it's the right decision. They are making a lot of assumptions about what will happen in the future. And we're going to use that, obviously. And so after the breakup, in a way, most people, they have a weight lifted from their chest. The pressure is gone and they want to enjoy. That happens unless you are clingy, you are needy, you try to control them, you try to confront them. And when that happens, you would reinforce this voice of, I was right to break up. I don't want to be in that relationship. I don't want to be with that person. I don't see my future with this person. So it's very important right after the breakup, if you didn't manage to rescue the relationship and didn't have a chance to discuss properly with your partner and they're rejecting any sort of potential for a discussion, it's very important not to be clingy, not to be needy at this stage, and letting go and let them have a bit of enjoyment and pleasure, sort of enjoying the breakup. This will be temporary. This will be temporary. That's very important for you to understand. And it's very important for you to understand the stages and the psychology to make the right decisions, because what you need to do after the breakup is obviously different than what you need to do 3 months, 6 months after the breakup. So let's explore the voices your ex will have in their head at the beginning of the contact. So there's obviously an expectation, as you've been together for a long time, as you've been in love, that you will fight, that you would stay around. So the expectation that you'll stay around, they might be surprised they don't hear from you. They feel in a way, because it's always a power struggle in relationship, and after a breakup, no contact is a way for you to regain control. You took the decision to leave the relationship, you took the decision to break up with me. I take the decision not to deal, not to communicate with you anymore. And I don't care whether you wanted to stay friends, I don't care whether you wanted to stay connected, maybe for emotional support because maybe you were not sure about your decision. I'm sure that what's best for me is to go no contact, is not to hear from you and you not to hear from me. And so what will happen when you do this, when you have this sort of power move, they will have this, oh, I thought you were not like that. I assume that you were not as strong as you are, actually. I was wrong thinking we could still be in touch. And so it's really trying to get them to reflect, get them to think again about their decision. That's what will happen at the beginning of no contact. If you go no contact and you've been respectful and you haven't been clingy and needy after the breakup. Now we fast forward a few weeks, and they start to slowly realize that things are different. They might feel lost. They might feel that their life doesn't seem better. Quick one. This idea of them regretting the past works only if you've been in a serious, what I like to call life-defining relationship, where people would have an insight, an incentive to get back to the relationship. They were happy with you, right? It's just that for some reason they felt it was not working anymore, but they were happy with you. Especially recently, if you look back, you were in love, you were telling each other amazing words, they were telling you how much you meant to them. In those contexts, of course, no contact will have an effect because they will see the loss. They will start to feel that you're not around. It's going to be very hard to adapt. If they don't have feelings for you, no contact will make it easier for them to move on. So if you're not sure whether you are in the right relationship or if you're sort of have any chance of getting back with your ex, have a look in the description. There's a link for you to take a quiz to know whether you have any chance of getting back with your ex. It gives you a score, and right away you'll see whether you have a chance or not to get back with your ex. The score that you need to have is above 15. If your score is below 15, then it probably means that it's going to be very hard to rescue the relationship, regardless whether you do no contact or not. And no contact will actually mean that your ex will probably leave the relationship at peace and won't regret their decision. So have a look at the test. It's totally free, obviously, but I'm doing this test for you to really gain more clarity, because I know those situations are very, very confusing and we want to get answers. So this is my way to provide answer. And so that's what we want to create, is we want to create to shift the idea that the pain now is stronger than the pleasure. They thought they'll be happier, freer, and that would provide them a form of happiness. This idea that they can do whatever I want, they can meet whoever they want, they have free time. But because that relationship was important to them as well, the pain is stronger than the pleasure. As I said, it works for meaningful relationships. So if you're not sure, take the quiz. They want to know. That's the other thing, very important. At some stage, your ex will reach out. Again, if you've been in a strong, life-defining, however you want to call it, meaningful relationship, your ex will reach out. It doesn't necessarily mean that you'll end up together, but I see that every single day. It's almost 100% of the time. If you've been respectful with that person, they will reach out at some stage. They'll probably find an excuse or join a party, because the voices in their head will be, I'm dying to know what he or she's up to. Whether you're dating someone, they miss you at this stage. They want what they can't have, right? Especially as the weeks and perhaps months have passed, they sort of have nostalgia around the relationship. Right after the breakup, they feel, certain about their decision. Obviously, when we make a decision, usually we are convinced about our decision, even though it's never 100% as I discuss. People, they're never like 100% sure. They make an assumption, they take the leap of faith, and they feel like, I'll be happier on the other side. But with time, with space, looking at you being strong and independent, they reconsider things. They think backwards to the sort of the relationship without the resentment, without the pressure, without the fight, without all these arguments, and feeling, oh yeah, but I remember of those times this weekend that we had together in the countryside. I remember about those discussions. I remember the sex that we had, because I can't have this right now. Maybe they've tried with someone, but that can't compare with what you had. And in the evening when they go to bed, or in the morning when they wake up, they realize that life is different, and that life is not as amazing and fulfilling as they thought it would be without you, because there's something missing. So the pain that you had right after the breakup, those images that I sort of share with you about you, for example, missing your ex, those daily moments that you can't share anymore, they will feel it. They will feel it after a few weeks of no contact. Trust me, they will feel it. So at this stage, you've done no contact, and well done. You've done a great job of doing no contact. Your ex reached out. Now it's just like, don't mess it up. Take things slowly. It's very important, because my job usually when I coach people on WhatsApp, for example, is to really tell them to slow down, because of course they have the end in mind, they know what they want, but you need to bring your ex there slowly. And by going slowly, by taking your time, you're reinforcing this voice in their head. Oh, they are stronger than I thought. They're not as clingy and needy than I thought. I can lose that person, and I need to fight for that person. And this idea of taking your time, of instead of having days of dates, like 45 minutes, an hour of dates, they would want to know more. That would create a form of mystery, and mystery creates attraction. And so that's what you have to do when they break no contact. When you're in touch with your ex, rather than, as a good poker player, don't reveal your cards right away. Don't reveal your game right away. I'm not into playing games with people, because my job is to help people have meaningful and long-lasting relationship. But in this stage of attraction, of seduction, yes, you have to kind of play the game of seduction for a bit to create what we would call in attachment theory a secure base for your partner, where they would feel sort of confident that you can create something on different terms with a different dynamic. And that will convince them that actually this is where lies the pleasure. The pain is way stronger now in the alone single side, or with that rebound if they are dating someone. This is the pain, and the pleasure, you are the pleasure, you're the happiness. It's going to make so much sense for them to reconsider the decision. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ping me on WhatsApp or book a discovery call with me. I'd love to speak with you. You can also like and subscribe to support. That would be amazing. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
For a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer.